Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. And it is a loser's lounge. It's a bummer of a loser's lounge. We're hanging out late on a Wednesday night with the fellas. Mithcell Carroll here hosting. Cowboy Super Yeah.
Oh, Super Cowboy Yeah. Tired, man.
Yeah.
Just think out late to the bottom of the earth already. Don't make us wait up this late anymore.
Man, I'm so mad about it. Oh, and they're just gonna add Marco Royce, by the way. Not a big deal. Anyways, to the other side of me, that handsome fella, downtown Duane Brown.
Sad town, Duane Brown.
Sad town, Duane sad.
Yeah,
You are sad.
not great. It was not great.
This game, Rapids fall 3-2 to Galaxy. The penultimate game before Leagues Cup. A game it feels like they left a point on the board, and a game simultaneously that they should have lost by 5 or 6. So plenty to talk about in this one. A very rotated squad. Should we just dive right into it?
Yes.
Let's just dive right into the
Let's
game.
dive into it like a Riqui Puig playing the Rapids.
Nothing makes Duane more mad than other teams diving against the Rapids.
Furious.
The one thing is they do it against everybody too, baby.
I know.
Nope.
It just feels so personal.
Never.
I don't know if Armis heard us right here, the three of us, complaining about not rotating in that last game in the heat at all and running everyone into the ground, because it was probably his most rotated lineup that we've seen. And even then, it's not really. Okay, so you get Steffen in goal. Seb starts for Keegan. Moise is back. Bombi is back. Plenty to talk about with him. Maxu and Vines. Jasper, Ronan, double pivot. Jonathan Lewis, Cole, Cabral, and Rafa up top. Thoughts on that?
I'm not mad that he rotated. I'm glad he's rotating the squad, but I feel like he doesn't rotate at the best times. Instead of rotating it against Red Bull, which is not a lesser competition than Galaxy, also you're playing in heat, and also it's an Eastern Conference opponent. Like, it doesn't matter if you lose that game, if you only walk out with a point. Who cares if it's at home? This Galaxy game means so much more to the standings.
Yeah.
Means much more to what's coming up. And you rotate in this game. To me, that just doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Unless you just thought that you guys didn't have a chance against Galaxy. But in all honesty, if you have Georgie, if you have a fully healthy and a well-rested squad on both sides of the field, I think this game is a lot closer. And I think the Rapids even have a shot of winning it. Maybe it's 1 out of 10. But it's a way closer matchup than what they showed tonight.
No, I definitely agree. I still think this was a pretty strong team. You know, I was pulling my hair out at the Lewis selection, and he ended up having a pretty good game. So by his standards, and I think by Rapids winger standards, you had Omir come off injured in the last game. Harris is still hurt, injured. He was hurt in warmups of that game. Kamani should have been with the Canadian national team, and I think they convinced him to stay for 2 extra days before joining camp, which was great because he also played well tonight. And then Keegan, I think you just want him rested up for Rocky Mountain Cup. I mean, pretty simple, right? Like, you want your guys rested. So overall, I think you bring a strong enough team to win. Maybe. Definitely strong enough to get a result. They should have had a result, honestly. With the chances they had late, we'll get into it. Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
But I think I personally don't think that the squad was strong enough to win against a team like LA Galaxy, who has a lot of depth, who has a lot of good players all over the pitch, who is a little bit more established. Now, if you put the squad out against Kansas City, you put it out against St. Louis, maybe even some of like the lesser teams out East, like you have a better shot of winning that game. I just don't understand why you rotate against one of the better teams in the actual West that actually matters to where you end up at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're right. All right, let's get into the game. They beat Galaxy last year, but I think that was pre-Riqui Puig coming into town, and definitely before they were this team. They were really bad last time the Rapids won there. 8th minute, the ref just blows an attack dead like seconds before the Galaxy score a goal. I'll take it. What was that?
Terrible reffing.
I mean, we'll take it. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Yikes. Big yikes. That was crazy. I can't believe it, but whatever. And then you're like, okay, great. Steffen gets a big save on Fagundes right after that, but Fagundes in that first run was just unstoppable. He sneaks into the box. Seb was caught ball watching. Sammy was playing him onside on the far end. 12th minute, boom. Goal. Way too easy. Way too easy.
Both of the backs today played really bad, in my opinion. As much as I want Sammy to turn the corner, it doesn't look like he's anywhere near that right now. And I think Seb Anderson had a really bad start today, too. He was very off with his passes. He was very off with what he wanted to do. He always seemed to be caught off guard. I don't know if it was just lack of focus or if it was the
ball watching,
talent, or the talent level on the other side. But both backs had horrible games today.
Right after that, you have a big moist chase down, right? 16th minute. Chases down Paintsel. Basically has to do it twice because he couldn't get the ball away. But it was like, all right, good. Moist is back. We can have crazy defensive plays like this. That was nice to see. It was nice to have him back. Yeah, that was tough. Okay. Oh, Colorado finally gets their first corner almost 20 minutes in. Nothing happens. On the other end, Seb Anderson had that big clearance. Man, I don't know what that attack was doing for Galaxy, but basically, no matter what they did, it ended up with Paintsel wide open in front of an open net. It happened like what, five, 6 times in that first half.
A lot of it was
Second.
Yeah, and a lot of it what happened was Gabriel Peck started pulling in, and Paintsel started pulling to the right, and that's kind of what opened up. It was confusing Maxu and Vines, especially with that speed on that side. They're not as fast as those guys. So they were just getting beat left and right.
Steffen had a huge save on Delgado in the 30th minute. And you're like, all right, we're feeling it. And I think it was a couple minutes later, you get the long pass up to Jonathan Lewis, who finds Kevin Cabral flying in, scores the goal, maybe breaks his arm on the goal when he flies into the back of it. I don't know. I was like trying to tweet and watch. And I kept missing the arm, but you said it folded. Yeah, the wrong direction.
Yeah, it looked like he landed and his weight kind of pulled him forward, so his arm kind of like dropped down a little bit. He could not get up. He tried to walk, and the pain seemed to be too much. Hope nothing for the best. Like Raw man, dude has been balling lately, and you're already down to maybe Omir. You're down Jordy. You're down Cabral. Like,
yeah,
it's getting to be you're down Calvin Harris. Like, you need wingers. Like, if you don't have anybody, Rapids might need to go buy another one.
Play Vines as a winger. Honestly, remove defense from his job description. Maybe we'll get into that later, but it wasn't great. The chat's not feeling it at all in the Toyota chat. Shout out to the Toyota chat. Crash, Jared, Hosper, B-Ray. Thanks for hanging out with us late on a Wednesday. We really appreciate it. So Cabral gets hurt. He manages to play. It was funny when he was finally ready to go back in. They noticed that he was also bleeding from his head. Did you notice that? It was like, oh, by the way, you're bleeding. Can't go in. Oh, God. Of course. Rough. I mean, man, such a nice goal from Kevin, right? And it just sucks. I hope he's okay. I just hope he's okay. Like, hopefully he's at least, I mean, if he's out through whatever this stretch, hopefully he's back like after Leagues Cup. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's not like something crazy. Like
you don't need your hands to play soccer. You're fine.
That's a good point. But if it's an injury where he has to like
Yeah,
immobilize it, he could be
yeah.
out for 2 months, you know? Like
Yeah.
that's you just hope it's not. Hopefully it's something in here. Hope, you know, whatever.
Squad depth is getting to be very thin, very quick.
Yeah. Okay. You think you're gonna make it at 1-1 there, and you're like, okay, we got about 10 minutes left. It's 1-1. We'll be okay. And then psych, Galaxy get a goal. Peck runs past Ronan, and then Jasper just makes them look like they're playing FIFA on a different skill level, you know. And he finds Paintsel wide open. That's a theme of the first half, is Paintsel wide open in the 6-yard box, and he buries the tap in. And you're like, okay, great, 2-1. Hopefully we can hold it. Just a few minutes later, 43rd minute, Puig just finds that open space right there and puts one in the side netting, far post. 3-1, and it feels, my note here is 7 minutes added. Yikes. That feels good for LA and horrible for Colorado. Because it was like, really, we have to play 7 more minutes of this? They're going to score 4 goals here. That's what it felt like. I was in a dark spot there right before half. But then the referee comes to the rescue. He had already pulled a goal off the board, and then calls a penalty on not much. I still don't know what he called the penalty on, if I'm being honest.
This ref was super Rapids friendly today.
Sure, why not? Never happened, so we're good with it. We're good with it over here. Man. And then Rafa, my guy, you might be done. You might be done with penalties here. Duane, I loved your message in our chat when the penalty was pointed at. What did you tell us?
I don't even remember.
You said Bombi needs to take it.
Oh, yes. And I was being for real too.
Like, yeah, of course.
Dude was,
he's nails.
In Copa, like he was throwing it down. Like Bombi is a PK taker. Like
he's him.
Welcome him back. I'm
not
sure Rafa is the guy.
Rafa steps up. He got rid of the stutter. I don't know if you guys noticed that. The run up. There's no stutter. He just ran up. McCarthy guessed correctly. Bounces up. Cole with the header. I don't think it was necessarily a bad penalty, but you know, got saved. So
whatever. He hasn't scored in his last 3 penalties, right?
Yeah, I know. Time to give it to either Cole or Bombi, I guess. I don't know.
Honestly, are you guys worried about Rafa at all?
No.
Now that he has the paycheck and
no, I don't think so.
Goal yet, not even a penalty.
No.
When does that start creeping in? How many more games?
If they're out of Leagues Cup and he hasn't scored since he signed.
Fair. Duane?
And probably not even then.
You know me, I'm like already worried about it. So look, if everybody's gonna gripe and complain about every other DP we've ever had not scoring, now we have a DP who's not scoring. So you gotta be even and fair with it. And right now, it's been some time, man.
It's been 3 games.
A lot of money going for the guy. So
it's been 3 games.
Yeah. But I mean, the PKs, they showed, the chart on Apple. Here are the ones that he makes it. Here are the 2 that he doesn't. And then, like, I was thinking about Copa with like the sticker on the water bottle of, if so and so is up, dive right. And so
that was
Pickford, and I'm like, in
Euros,
I'm thinking, if my water bottle has a sticker on it, it's gonna say dive left. If Hoffa's taking it, and that's what happened. So. You know
what's funny about that? Add it to the wall of stupid Apple TV graphics. They did last 6 penalties. He's taken 7. Did you not have room for 1 more dot on that graphic? Why did you choose 6?
Too many.
Not
pixels.
5, not 7. You chose 6.
Too many pixels.
What a stupid graphic. That broadcast has the dumb win probability and that graphic are just so stupid, pointless. What is the point? Why did you choose one less than the total and one more than 5? What is happening? They need us to produce these things. Actually, that fixes it. Okay, so it's 3-2. Great goal from Cole, his 8th of the year. Good to see it from our guy. You get to halftime 3-2. How? Who can say? But, whatever. They made it. That's great. They take Cabral off for Ollie. Loved it. I think that really helped that second half control that midfield. Great move from Lawless. I think there were some pretty decent chances in the first, 15 minutes or so. You had Cole finally worked up to the top, and then his cross was just low in front of somebody and rolled out. And then Max, who had a big clearance. Ollie had that nice little dancing run into the box, but couldn't get a clean shot. And that looked good. You took Jasper off for Omir at that point, and you were basically rocking with pretty close to a more normalized rotated lineup. Does that make sense? Right? By the time you get Omir in there, I liked that lineup a lot, what it ended up as. Let's see. So about 60th minute there. You had that nice Omir dummy to Jonathan Lewis, right? That let Lewis get open on that side of the box, but it was just a little too far to get a clean shot. Then you had the Puig dive. I'm sure Duane was cursing at his TV with the Puig dive.
Did you know?
Duane was at the 10s.
Did you know that if you rearrange the letters in Riqui Puig, it spells Neymar Jr.? Isn't that crazy? I don't know if you guys have ever tried that word problem, but
why is Neymar taking strays? What do you do?
He's an Olympic diver.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Gold medal in the Olympics every year, baby.
That's
up to 1 year in Mexico, beat him. Take that.
Could rolled so many times. Oh my goodness.
Right after that, Rafa really earned that great header, right? He was battling for position, gets his head up above. It was a bummer it went right at McCarthy. I thought that was a great play from him. I really did think he had a good night. He got subbed off right after that. Yappy and Kamani come on. And both looked pretty good. 85th minute. This is the one that I think Twitter I saw the most mad at, right? Everyone was pissed. Vines. KSB works a great little run, gets into the box, passes it off to Sammy, and he could not have whiffed harder. He went for the left foot to put it far post, should have hit it right foot near post or right foot anywhere, or passed it on to Omir. Instead, he just takes a terrible shot, whiffs it out for nothing, and that was the best chance they had the rest of the way. It's pretty tough.
Dude, Sam Lyons has had such a bad time.
It was rough. It was super rough.
I feel bad for him at this point. He's the 2023 Rapids by himself this year.
He's just that sucks. That's so harsh. But fair. Yappy then put that nice left foot kind of turnaround shot from the top of the box. He did put it right at McCarthy, but it was another thing where you're like, "Ooh, okay, Yappy, I like that. Playing with some confidence. That goal might have done something for you there, right?" Yeah, it was a rocket left foot, and I think even the fact that it was dead center on McCarthy, I think if he even has to make a weird play with his hands, you maybe get a ricochet or something because of how hard the shot was. But nice to see from him, I thought, at least. Let's see. Oh, Bombi gets a cramp, and that really I thought was the end of the game. Right? He cramps right at the 90th minute. Takes a while to get him off. Then you have to sub Lawless on. And all the momentum he had with some chances there towards the end, I think just completely died. Completely. And not that it's anyone's fault. It's a cramp. No. But it sucks.
No. This is one where Armas you take a little bit of responsibility for.
Sure.
Bombi should have been out around minute 60, man. He just came off playing a long tournament, traveling a lot more. He played third place for semifinals and all this. You need to give him a break, even if it's a small one. That's a very hectic tournament. I know you need bodies, but Michael Edwards has done a good job. Lawless Bubakar has done a good job.
Yeah, just bring Lawless in at the 70-minute mark or whatever.
Or 60. Yeah. Something. Just you need to give Bombi a little bit more of a break there. I get they're trying to get him some run out there. But you also got to realize the dude's been playing so many games consistently. Not just because you haven't had him doesn't mean that he's not being worked in another way. You got to give him a little break, man. He deserves it. Like,
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been the whole game.
Ronan puts like a cross that turns into a shot on goal in extra time, and that was really the only chance that they actually created there after the substitution. Galaxy counter kind of ruined extra time there. They finally figured it out at the end.
Hey. Man, honestly, biggest takeaway from this whole game is Georgie's dearly missed.
Yes, very much so. All right, we're going to hop into some storylines to pull out, player grades, new segment maybe. But first we got to do a little housekeeping, and we have to talk about our dear friends at Lucy Nicotine. Man, this was a game perfect for some Lucy Nicotines. Stressful, trying to find a point, trying to work possession to get a chance. Just pump a little 4 milligram mango in, mellow out, relax, take it easy. 100% pure nicotine, always tobacco free, available in pouches, gum, and breakers. Breakers are basically pouches, but you can pop a little extra thing in there, make it even more flavorful. Those are available in 4 or 8 milligram. Favorite flavors there got to be mint, berry citrus, and espresso. If you're not into pouches, they got gum too at Lucy. It's 2 milligrams, 4 milligrams, or 6 milligrams. And you can have a subscription where they just show up right at your door. You don't even have to think about it. Don't have to go stop by the gas station on your way home or before work or whatever it is. Yeah, you're still rocking the wintergreens?
Man, that's all I got. They're my favorite thing right now.
That's
long
really good.
road trip, and that's what I'm using.
Oh yeah, you have a really long road trip. You're gonna go through a few cans of that. So definitely, if you want to level up with your nicotine routine, go to lucy.co/rapids and use promo code RAPIDS, all caps, to get 20% off your first order. Lucy offers free shipping, has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. That's lucy.co and use code RAPIDS to get 20% off and always free shipping. We also got to talk about the homies at Toyota. We love Toyota here at DNVR. We made them the official vehicle of DNVR. They rock. They rock. Absolutely. They are built for Colorado. They got all sorts of awesome trucks like the Tacoma or the iForce Max Hybrid. They're even bringing back the Land Cruiser this year, the 2024 Land Cruiser. They have a ton of all-wheel and four-wheel drive, 17 different models, including the 4Runner. We even have SUVs that work both in the city and on the trails, like RAV4 or the Grand Highlander. Visit your furniture Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Colorado Rapids and the official vehicle of DNVR. All right, we're back. DNVR Rapids, hanging out late night after dark. Oh yeah, yeah, Mitch, Duane. Man, where do you guys want to go first with that one? Biggest takeaway.
I kind of just cited it right before the break, man.
Yeah.
But Georgie's absence is obvious, and I think that's one of the reasons that you're seeing Cole have such bad games lately. The last 2 games, I think, have been 2 of Cole's worst games since last year. Also, Rafa has been struggling just to get the ball in the box, and that has a lot to do with not having your guy that sets you up constantly. 10 assists, is it, or 9 for Georgie?
Oh man, I just moved.
I don't know. Whatever.
He's almost
9.
at double digit for both. Yeah,
he's at 9. Like, that's a lot, and most of these are going right to Rafa. Like, that's your setup guy, and not having him there and not allowing Cole to play his natural position is really hurting the Rapids right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Duane, what's your biggest takeaway from this game?
I think the thing that frustrated me the most tonight was, and I know it's how the Rapids play. This is the strategy, but we build out of the back so slowly. And it's such a slog to watch, because by the time we get up into the opponent's box, that box is already stacked with every player from the other team. And then it comes to having to just all of these short little passes, and you've got a guy in front of you every time, and you're just hoping that maybe something squeezes through that you can punch in. And it just always seems like we're crossing our fingers when we get to that point, versus having a straight plan for scoring goals. And that makes the finishing look bad, because it's hard to score when you've got 5 bodies in front of you. And I'm not saying that we're not having problems finishing, because obviously, we're not finishing some very easy shots. But a lot of the other ones, it's hard to finish, man. But by the time you get there, they've had plenty of time to set their line, to build up and wait for you just to show up.
It's also a frustrating strategy to watch when you have Jesper Loffelson starting, right?
Sure.
And like you're relying on him to come back from 2 goals down and build up play. And all of a sudden you have a play where it's like Seb to Loffelson to Jonathan Lewis. And that's not the recipe. It's just not. There's just not enough skill out there without Georgie, right? And Ollie not getting the start too, where you really felt it. Like you really felt the lack of ball control in that midfield. And once Ollie was there in the second half, I really felt like that normalized a little bit, made it a lot easier to at least, if not stay in the attacking third, at least keep it in the midfield and up, right? And it's just much more calm and less, all right, another 10 passes to get it up there, right? Like you felt like you could break a couple lines easier and there's just more options. Ollie was I thought, a real stabilizer to that problem tonight.
Yeah.
So that's at least good going forward, that you can pull a little bit from the attack to stack the midfield and actually create more chances, right?
Yeah,
like that's something to have in your pocket.
And it's part of that fear, right? Because you don't have those guys out there that can handle the ball like you want your midfield to do. Because then you don't want to invite pressure, and that's when the Rapids really seem to flourish, is when they have a little bit of pressure when they're building out of the back, because they can break lines a lot quicker with guys like Georgie, Cole, and Ronan or Ollie running that midfield. But when you don't have that, it just seems like a slog every time. I think the Rapids today would have benefited from a little bit of those New York tactics, where they went down to a 4-4-2 and let Rafa and Yappy kick a little bit up there. I think that would have been way better today than having this kind of like trying to do the same thing with a hodgepodge of players that don't play the same way all the time.
Yeah. Look, and I mean, you kind of punted on this to try and win Rocky Mountain Cup. Now you have to win Rocky Mountain Cup, right? I mean, whatever. A point is still good standings wise, but a point doesn't win you the cup, right? Because a tie stays with RSL. So you have to win this weekend. You have no Chicho, right? I think, did they lose tonight? I
think so.
I was paying attention and then got too frustrated watching them not score in that second half. No, they drew 1-1. So they're coming off a pretty decent result at LAFC. Boring. Goals were over by the 33rd minute in that one. Ugh, gross. But man, your eggs are in that basket now, right? Like you are saying we're gonna win Rocky Mountain Cup. So you better go win Rocky Mountain Cup.
You need the cup, but you also need 3 points, man. I mean, we're not in danger of falling out of the playoffs.
No, the 3 points is more important than the cup.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to say. Like, that's crazy to say.
Yeah. I mean, we dropped a spot tonight, and you've also got Seattle and Portland 1 and 2 points behind you. Those teams, as I have said all season long, when everyone told me I was stupid, they're only going to keep crawling up the table. That is what those two teams do. They do it slowly and sneaky, and all of a sudden they're at the middle or the top, and you're like, what the heck just happened?
Portland has to go to Galaxy on Saturday, so that feels good, right? Like that feels good there, that maybe if you can get some points against RSL, you can at least build a little more cushion back, at least against Portland. Who knows? I didn't look at Seattle's schedule. All right, players of the game. Who do you think was the highest rated Rapid? It is a tie. 2 players tied at 7.4.
I'm going to guess Cabral and Jonathan Lewis.
Cabral is correct. Or no, sorry. Jonathan Lewis is correct. Cabral is 0.1 behind. It is Cole Bassett.
Don't like that.
Let's look at Jonathan.
That feels like a lie to me.
Lying to me. I just think that there just wasn't enough minutes. If Cabral had even been able to play 15 minutes and make a few passes in that second half, would have graded out higher. 75 minutes played for J-Lou. 1 assist, 2 shots, 2 chances created, 26 touches, 7 in the box, 1 clearance, 1 headed clearance, an interception. Solid night. Nothing crazy, but solid night. Cole, though. How do you guys feel about Cole? What do you guys think about Cole tonight?
I had a horrible game.
Horrible?
I thought that's why you're lying to me, man. Like, a lot of the times, the reason that this team kind of fell short tonight in creating was because Cole wasn't there.
He was trying too hard to be the last option.
Exactly.
And that's not when he's at his best. He needs to be distributing.
His best is also his best in the final third is him running towards the box and the ball coming to him in a cutback, not him trying to create the cutback. But the issue is that there's not a lot of those players that can create it for him right now.
When he's pushing and really pushing that back line and waiting for a run, that's not when this offense is working. Now, he did have 75 touches, which, that's well into that magic number for whatever the 10 is in Chris Armis's system. But, yeah, I mean, the 1 goal, which was an all hustle, heads up, smart play to get the goal, right? Can't be too mad about that. 0.6 expected goals, 0.78 expected goal on target, 0.09 expected assists, 6 touches in the box, 10 passes into the final third. Solid night, but not great. And you needed a great night. You just needed a great night, and you didn't get it. Cabral in just 45 minutes with a goal, 9 passes completed, 22 touches, 5 in the opponent's box, and graded out pretty well. Those were the only 3 Rapids in the green. Everyone else, Steffen somehow at 6.5, Bobby at 6.3, and Seb, Rafa at 6.2. Man, Lawfulson 5.6, Maxu 5.7, Sam Vines 6.0. Just not good night for those guys at all. At all. Yeah.
I would have really liked to see Wayne today.
Interesting.
I would have loved to see Wayne today. Not start just some minutes when you're bringing guys in. I thought it would be fun to see just what the kid has against a team like the Galaxy.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you're already rotating the squad so much. Give them a couple of minutes. Might not. You need guys out there anyways.
Yeah, why not? Go for it. I love that. Try stuff.
I thought there it is. There it is. Okay. I was waiting for it.
That's our motto, baby. Try stuff.
When nothing else works, just try it.
Just try stuff, dude. We're out here trying stuff. Actually, Omir graded a 7.3 off the bench. 33 minutes played, 13 for 13 passing, 2 chances created, 19 touches. I thought he was a nice impact off the bench after a kind of probably a pretty frustrating game against Red Bull. I don't know. What'd you think? That's your guy. Yeah. Tell us, what'd you think about his game tonight?
I think tonight nobody really looked good, if I'm honest.
Sure. Fair enough.
The best player of the game for the Rapids went out at halftime in Cabral. I think he's the guy that had the most energy, the most want tonight, which, speaking about Cabral, it's crazy to say that Cabral's the guy that had that the most tonight. Cabral, I thought was the most ready to give it all. Even at the end of the game, the Rapids had no urgency at all. They were not trying to go forward. This team lacked a lot of urgency or want tonight, but I thought Cabral had a lot of that in the first half.
Should we roll out the new segment right now? Yeah.
I'm down. Let's roll it out.
Throw it up there. Friends at UC Health, the extraordinary moment of the game, courtesy of UC Health. And now for take care of your mental health today so you can have better tomorrow. Head to uchealth.org/tomorrow. uchealth.org/tomorrow. The extraordinary moment of the game, Cabral. That's the second year in a row. He's gone to LA, scored a goal. A very nice goal. He threw himself into harm's way. It was the only way he was going to get to that ball, was flying at it, got his foot on it, scored, did get injured, had to come off at halftime, but man, that guy had a rough go of it in Los Angeles. So to go there twice in back-to-back years while Galaxy is paying half of his salary to not play for them, to score like that was awesome to see. And you're right. He was the guy with all the energy tonight. I mean, I have this theory on him where, especially games against, Galaxy, you have guys with 95 plus ratings in things, right? Like Puig, right? Like just game awareness through the roof, right? Peck, crazy speed. You have when in games where you have guys that are maxed out in certain categories and show out, Kevin has speed, right? And I think playing against these bigger clubs in the MLS that have these, players who could go play in big leagues, I think these games are where he shows out because that speed is undeniable. It is. He is faster than anyone out there. And so a game like this where it's like, hey, Kevin, we need you to go be the fastest guy. That is what you can do. Go do it. Go be the fastest possible guy you can be. And he was great tonight. He really was. Shout out to him. I promise he's getting flowers. He's for sure getting flowers.
It's also a great job. Go ahead, Duane.
I was gutted that he was not able to celebrate and go point to the name on the back of his kit again.
It was awesome.
He was too hurt. I was so gutted for him because I know he wanted to do it. This is a game that this is a team that he has a massive chip on his shoulder, with the way the fans treated him there. So I wanted him to be able to celebrate so much. Also, sad that he's hurt, but I know that he wanted to celebrate too. He wanted to.
I don't know if they talked about it in the English broadcast, but when Cabral scored the goal, a lot of LA fans were cheering for him and blowing him kisses, and Cabral was waving at them as he was walking.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
So I don't know if they talked about it but they were talking about in the Spanish one that he was getting some love out there in LA.
Good.
Well, that's
he should.
Good.
Yeah, he's having a great year. Also, for him, not for an MLS DP winger, but for him, great year.
Yeah. Also, J-Lu, great play on that too,
dude. That pass was awesome.
That was vintage J-Lu, man. Burned everybody, dime into the box. Only one guy could get that, and it was Cabral, and he was there. Yeah, perfect.
J-Lu deserves so much more. We give Cabral a lot of credit for throwing his body in the way. Yeah, but J-Lu made that happen almost purely by himself.
It was a beautiful play, man. I really, really am impressed with what he's been able to do. J-Lu's had a nice little run in games. Look, I mean, straight up, had a great goal, just had a great assist. And, you need that with the Harris injury, with Omir looking a little hurt, with Kamani going to join Team Canada. Lewis has to find some form of 2021 Jonathan Lewis. Expecting all of 2021 Jonathan Lewis to come back, probably not going to happen, right? But maybe, right?
Hey, he's got two goal contributions in 2 games. So that's pretty good.
Absolutely. We will take it. Any other player we should talk about tonight? I thought Rafa was better than the grades and the stats will say he was. Especially on that near header where he really worked into position. But like Duane was complaining about earlier, correctly, was the build out just made it impossible for Rafa to be effective tonight. It really did.
Yep.
Tough strategy for him. Hopefully he's saving a brace banger for Rocky Mountain Cup this weekend, right? That's what we're waiting on. Oh, it'd be so sweet. All I'm dreaming about is Rocky Mountain Cup right now. I can't think about this stupid game much longer. Don't have much left in me. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about, flowers. We're going to do what we do at the end of it. There's no mystery here. We're going to give out flowers. But first, we're going to talk about ourselves right here at DNVR. Got a whole bunch of events coming up. And probably, honestly, one of the coolest trips coolest opportunities we've had this weekend at the bar, Sunday, July 21st, after the Meet the Team thing. We are going to have an event at the bar where Circa Las Vegas, Circa Resorts, is sponsoring a college football 25 tournament and raffling off 4 round trip tickets and 3-night stay to Circus Sports in Vegas in November. How's that sound, fellas?
You don't have to play to win those. Like
no, 3 of those you don't have to play.
Yeah, if you win the tournament, you get one. That's a prize. But also, if you go to the meet the team party, and then you want to just come back and chill at the bar, have a beer, whatever, you just do that and win an incredible trip to Vegas, which is awesome.
It's going to be awesome. So you just have to hang out. They're giving them away an hour apart, 3 separate times, and then the winner of the tournament gets it. We'll also be doing a live Broncos show. Come say what's up to Todd Davis and the Broncos crew. We're also road tripping to Tampa Bay with the Broncos crew and Todd Davis. Our trip package is pretty dope. You get to stay at the Wyndham Grand Clearwater Beach. You get to go on a boat and hang out with the Broncos guys. Todd Davis will be hanging out. This little Super Bowl 50 champ, no big deal. Tailgate party, round trip transportation to the game tickets, all that. Go to truefantravel.com. While you're there, check out the Buffs trip to Nebraska. That one's going to rock too. We got, hotel right next to the stadium. We're going to have a big party before the game. Then we're going to go watch the Buffs beat the Huskers. It's going to be great. Rockies takeover sold out. Sorry, you can't come because you missed out. There's the DNVR Kickoff Classic, and that is coming up at Legacy Ridge in Westminster on August 16th. 4-man scramble brought to you by Toyota and Shady Rays. Those are super fun. You get a little goodie bag, prizes, limited edition ball marker. There's tons of prizes on the course. Last time you could have won a Toyota if you hit a hole-in-one on one of the holes. You could have won a freaking Tundra, limited a dish. Pretty sweet.
Probably would have won it if I had gone.
Probably.
Yeah, probably would have. I mean, I can't play golf at all, but I'm pretty sure I would have won.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would have won too. All right. Just go to the dnvr.com/events. Go there, win those trips to Vegas. You have to RSVP to be eligible to win. So RSVP if you plan on coming on Sunday, win one of those tickets to Vegas. All right. We'll be back right after this short break. All right, we're back. DNVR Rapids hanging out late night. Oh, yeah. It's time for everybody's favorite segment. We're giving out flowers from the fellas. Duane, you are up first tonight.
Yes.
Perfect night for you to go first.
I know. This
perfect
is a perfect night. I mean, nobody's surprised here. It's Kevin Cabral.
That's right.
La Revolution has struck again. It is
that nickname is so inappropriate for him as the Revolution, but I love it anyways. It's so good.
It's like a wrestling moniker for him. La Revolution. Coming to the ring, La Revolution.
It's just that historically that didn't end well. That's why I didn't add the word French in front of it. Then it was very historical and not as great. But look, this guy has a bad season last year, shows up when they go to Galaxy, scores a goal, shuts everybody up out there, comes back this year, and in a game that felt like Final Destination, when that referee, ruined that first goal for Galaxy, this game just went into Final Destination mode. It didn't matter what we did. We were losing this game.
Right.
Like it just felt like that over and over again. And it was the one time in that story, right off where you had a little bit of hope that here comes Jonathan Lewis with this great pass, and out of nowhere at Mach 20 comes Kevin Cabral speeding towards the goal, punches it in so fast he can't even stop and ends up, into the back of the net, possibly injuring himself. Again, at LA Galaxy. I'm happy for him. I hope he's not hurt bad. I am super happy that he scored there again. I just think it's the funniest middle finger goal to give to any team. And I hope he scores every time he goes back to Galaxy, because it's the best joke in soccer. I just think it's great. So flowers for that guy.
Update from the Armis presser. Armis said it might be an elbow sprain or contusion, but doesn't really know much at this point. Tough. All right, you got flowers to give? Yeah.
I have a small amount of flowers.
Okay.
Just to Bobby for his return back to Denver. Everything he accomplished on the Copa. Very proud of that guy, man. Did a great job with Canada. Came out here. I thought he played really well. There's still a lot of confusing things with him in the lineup, in my opinion. It feels like the defense gets worse when he's in the lineup. It's because they rely more on him or he gets out of position. But I do want to give him a lot of credit because that speed that he carries himself with, that speed really helps the Rapids in tough situations. Could have been way worse if it wasn't for him, honestly.
I thought he had a couple really nice long passes up to the forwards or Cole, and kind of not playing it up and around. Like I really thought he was able to break some lines there. And then in the second half, he was able to play with the ball at his feet, like in the attacking third. I thought it was, you're right that the defense didn't look great in total with him back, but he made a couple of Bombi style plays with that big rundown on Paintsel. And I thought offensively he looked pretty good. It was good having him back,
Having
that
just that confidence that you have somebody back there that can recover at all times. It makes it for kind of an easier game to watch as a Rapids fan.
Absolutely. I thought it was good. That's good flowers. Reluctantly.
I skipped this one on purpose.
To Jonathan Lewis. Son of a bitch. I can't believe I'm doing this. That's 2 Jonathan Lewis flowers in a row for me. What the hell?
He deserves it. He earned them.
Which multiverse did we fall into? Ugh. Crazy.
It's the rise of J. Lou.
Hey, I will cheer as loud as anybody when that happens, right? So if the J. Lou rise is real, I'm here for it. Keep doing what you're doing, bud. They need it. I mean, the Rapids need it. They need him to be good. That's the thing. He's been called into action out of necessity, and he has delivered. So, of late.
Is he the Will Barton of the Rapids?
Oh, is that a good thing if he is?
That's what I mean.
Is it a good thing if he isn't? I don't know.
How do you feel about Will Barton?
Hey, I have a thrill jersey.
Exactly. So is he the Will Barton of the Rapids?
I was a thrill guy.
It's just food for thought, guys.
That's a really good food for thought, though. Anyways, flowers to J-Lu. Duane, you go now, please.
That's it for me, man.
God damn I have to be able to redeem myself.
This wasn't a super great game.
Yeah, I'm enjoying.
There were chances. Well, Rapids had chances, but we were never in control. Yeah, there were chances, but it was
the second half. The second half, Rapids had almost 60% possession, 8 shots, 5 on target, 3 big chances, almost 300 passes. I mean, they had the run of it in the second half. They should have scored in the second half. They should have found that equalizer. I'm mad about it. I wasn't mad going into this pot. I'm mad now. They should have scored.
But even Galaxy, didn't really take the Rapids seriously, if you know what I mean.
I mean,
they kind of stopped trying, even only being up 1 goal. They were just kind of like, we're comfortable with parking the bus because we don't think this team can break us down.
But they should have. They had the chance. They should have. I'm mad. Is there anybody else worthy of flowers here?
I think honestly, there's 3 guys and 3 guys only.
Omir gets a small flower because I do think he had a really good shift coming in as a sub. Leaving hurt in the last game, coming into this one, and I thought he was good on that right side. I thought he created a few good chances there late in the second half, or at least was a part of the play that led to a decent chance. So, Omir.
In the same vein, I think Kamani Sturbanes deserves a flower.
Yappy too. Honestly, I thought the attacking subs were good.
I just think they were a little too late.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's not on them. That's on coaching and kind of managing all that.
All right, should we spend 5 minutes hating RSL real quick? Any takes you need to get off? You're not going to be on the pod for a while.
I don't have any takes on that, man. It's just you got to go win the damn thing. It's that simple. You win and it's yours. Like at this point, like it's all been said. You went into America First Bank, that shithole, and
Mega
you won the
Field?
game, whatever it's called. You went into that shithole and won a game. Then you went in there and got unlucky in the last, not unlucky, but then lost one in the last 10 minutes. You got them. You just have to take care of business at home. No Chicho.
No
Diego
Chicho. That's
Luna's
crazy,
no
bro.
Diego Luna's no longer mad. You need your team ready and healthy. Bombi being down, it's scary, it's horrifying. But maybe he's your second pivot, and you bring in Lawless and you fortify the defense that way.
Whoa.
Maybe you mess around with some of that.
Whoa.
But regardless, like you just got to go win the damn thing. You have to. There's no if and buts. If you don't do that, that might be the biggest disappointment of the year.
You can't lose. You can't. You can't lose. And here's the thing. You guys have been in this longer than me, and I already know. In a game where you're like, you guys can't lose this one, it's like a fucking 5-0 beatdown, generally speaking. Right? Like
that's when you lose the worst.
That's when you lose the worst, and that fucking sucks, dude. I hate that so much. I hate that. I don't want that. I want to have some fun this weekend. You know how fun it would be to lift that cup? Ugh. No Chicho. Now it makes me even more scared that it's going to be bad.
You have to go. I'm telling you, Gomez has been the guy that killed the
I know.
Rapids, and that's a Sam Vines issue. That's what it is. Sam needs to step up.
Did we talk about Sam enough tonight, do you think?
I think
it was a bad
about
game,
him enough all year.
Yeah.
This has been Sam all year.
He needed to score that goal. That chance that he whiffed on. That was the Sam gets right chance. And he whiffed hard.
Or just block the ball a little bit so Amir can get in, have a cleaner shot than you. Like you did neither or. And that's why you end up losing this game.
Man, tough. Duane, how are you feeling about Rocky Mountain Cup this weekend?
I feel like I've not seen much dog from the Rapids lately. We beat up on bad teams really. I think we beat up on bad teams, which is what you do to bad teams. When you're a better team, you beat up on them. When you play better teams, you got to show up with dog, and you have to fight and get gritty, and you can't get into the final third and then kind of putz around with the ball. Like it's got to be shots on net, and it's got to be punishing the other team. It's got to be making the other team worry when you get into the final third. And against better teams, it doesn't look like we've made the other team worry at all. And that's what we need. We need to be scary, in the final third, and we haven't been scary in a long time. If that means that this is the return of Hoffa and the rise of Lewis and Cabral playing banged up, and they just start firing on that net, awesome. I mean, if you really want to get pissed, like I watched the goal that they scored against LAFC. What an irritating goal. Just go watch his stupidest goal ever.
No, I refuse. Screw them. I'm not giving them the numbers.
It's so dumb.
I refuse. Screw them.
It's so dumb.
No, look, you're right. Look, they that 3-2 win on 4th of July I thought was pretty dog-esque. Coming back against your big rivals on 4th of July. But in the big games, it was a loss. It was a loss to Galaxy. It was a draw to Red Bull. You lost to Minnesota. You lost, pretty much all the teams in your tier or the tier above, which I think it's just been really, really hammered home that there are tiers in the MLS, and the Rapids are looking up at a tier or two, right? Probably just one tier. I do think they're in that pack of the second tier, but
RSL is in the top tier.
Yes, there's 1, 2, 3 gap.
It feels like to me RSL's kind of dropped. It's like
maybe a little,
but like covering at the top of the second tier.
No, I still think they score too many goals. They might be at the bottom of that top tier, and look, I don't want to give it up to them. But I think this was another sobering reminder that there's just a giant talent gap between the top of this league and the next level. Even just the next level. One level down from the top 6, 7 teams. One level down. Massive talent gap. Massive talent gap.
If you're thinking about like Premier League, there's a big 6, then you have the West Hams, Aston Villas, and all those kind of teams, and that's kind of where the Rapids are falling, like in the middle to the bottom of that tier.
Rapids should be their sister club Arsenal, but really they're like fucking Bournemouth.
They're closer to me to like Crystal Palace.
Yeah. Maybe hovering to steal a conference league spot.
If lucky.
Yeah. Look, it just is. And look, the Rapids, I think when it comes to these big games, especially in the playoffs, can you get the best game out of your guys? And can your press and teamwork make that other team not bring their best? You have a chance to win. They will have chances to win. But there's clearly a talent gap because you've seen it ever since the New York game, right? I think every playoff team they've played that's tied or above them in terms of spot in the standings, they haven't won. Now there are end of the playoff teams they've beaten, right? Like Austin and they've won against teams that are in that threatening for playoff spots. But any like solidified for sure will be in the playoffs at the end of this season team, they haven't done anything better than a draw. And that's
what I'm saying.
Not the way to live. Not going into the biggest game of the year. Not going into the biggest game in a long time. Really, this is the biggest game since the Thanksgiving playoff game, probably. Right? Rocky Mountain Cup at home, win the cup.
Probably, yeah.
It's a low bar.
Well, still, whatever. You're 2.5 seasons later, right? This is a big game. It's a big game.
No, it's a huge game, and we got our butts kicked by LAFC when we played them. Both Rapids and RSL beat LAFC in the beginning of the season. We went out to LA and got cooked. They went out to LA and came away with a point without Chicho. This is a good team, and I hate saying that, but them's the facts.
I hate it.
The facts. I hate it so much.
Go
ahead.
How unlucky are the Rapids? They're competitive again. RSL gets so much better. You're arch-rival, so you don't even get one on them.
Nope.
Then it's the same year that the Copa and the Olympics is going on, and some key players are gone, and you're kind of struggling now. That's just
sucks.
That's super unlucky.
It is. It sucks. It's tough, but
Rapids could have made some moves to bring those players that RSL has.
No, they could have.
They also could have just said no, you're not going, and kept Georgie, but they're too nice and let him go, which is fair.
We're down at Georgie, they're down at Chicho.
We'll see. All right, Yahya, when are you back on the show? 3 weeks from now?
2 weeks.
What are you doing?
I am taking a vacation because if I don't, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. Going out of my hometown of Mexico in Delicias, Chihuahua. Spending 2 wonderful weeks with family out there.
Let's go. I'm so hyped for you. I'm going to live vicariously through you.
I am going to Mexican baseball games, basketball games.
Oh, my God.
Not a lot of soccer games, unfortunately, in my home state, but try to convince my wife to drive 4 hours to a professional soccer game from there.
What's the close? Is it Monterrey?
No, it's a Coahuila. It's
right. Yeah. So, nice. That'd be fun. Hopefully she's into that.
So regardless, I'm going to have a good time. A lot of family out there, so it's going to be fun.
Cool. That'll be great.
If you don't follow me, at least follow DNVR Rapids on Twitter.
There it is.
That's where you can find our stuff. We'd really appreciate it. Give us a 5-star review wherever you hear this podcast. We are every podcast in every podcast application, wherever you listen to your podcast, we're always there. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can tell I'm a little bit tired and laggy right now. It's late. I go to bed early, but really, really appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now on to Mitch.
Duane?
Mitch sounded scared like Duane.
Duane?
That's very funny.
All
Hey,
right.
bring it this week. Like,
let's do a quick.
If ever you need to bring all of the Rapids vibes, light your Rapid Man prayer candles, take your vitamins, hydrate, whatever.
Quick prediction.
Do all of the things because the Rapids need it.
Quick prediction. Go.
Oh man. You know what? I'm just going with my heart here. I'm going to say 3-1 Rapids because I hate RSL. Screw those guys. So let's just put it on them.
Whoa.
Just put it on them.
Crazy.
That's what I need. That's what I need to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen. But I need to happen.
I'm going to go a little negative on this. I think it's going to be a duo RSL.
Oh.
It feels like
hurting yourself before they can hurt you. I get it. No, I get
I'm going
it.
2-1.
You're just setting yourself up.
I just think RSL Rapids are missing too many guys. I'm missing Georgie, and that's the key to the car. Without that thing ain't running.
Damn. I'm gonna say 4.
Shit.
Just kidding. I was gonna say
goals in total.
4 goals total. No. I'm gonna say a dramatic 2-1 victory. Cole gets the winner late, and the crowd goes crazy.
That'd be nice.
There you go. Calling it now. Well, have fun in Mexico. While Yaya's gone, you have to listen to me and Duane. It might just be me by myself next week. Honestly, we're gonna be cooking it up over here. Subscribe, follow, do all that stuff. Become a diehard at thednvr.com. Get all the fun stuff. You support this show and you support shows like this across the network, and it goes a long way. So really, and it benefits you because you get cheap and free stuff, and that's awesome. Win, 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 all around. More important than all that, and this is a very much please do this for us this weekend. Please. Up the Pids.
We all silly like the mayor.